last night's homework. Who thinks they got, we're going to flip to the side with more problems first. So number 9. Who thinks they got number 9 correct? Nate, hold on just a second. Sorry. Shut down when I clicked on it. What'd you get, Nate?
-2.
That's not an.
So less
The inequality is the answer. So we need a letter, a number, and a symbol. So what did you get as your whole answer?
X, -2, and then the less than sign.
Okay, who can say it all together? Haley?
X is less than -2.
X is less than -2. Do you guys agree with that? Because I still don't see it. Okay, here it is. X is less than -2. Why is it X is less than -2? Who can explain the why? Why is it X is less than -2? Harper?
Because everything that is X is lower than -2.
Yeah, all of the shading is less than -2, and the shading represents what? Possible values for X. Yes, the possible values for X. Right there? Was that it? Is that it? Okay. Number 10. So I will write this one. X is less than -2. Sophie, number 10.
X is greater than 8, but it can also be 8.
X is, okay, greater than 8. And she said, but it can also be 8. How do I show that?
With a line under.
With a line under it. So we say that as 8 is greater than or equal to, sorry, did I say 8? X is greater than or equal to 8 because all of the shaded values are larger than 8. Number 11, Ethan, what'd you come up with?
X is less than -3. And then it has a line under it.
Okay, so how do we say that properly?
X is less than -3 or 8.
Sadie? So X is less than or equal to -3 because all of the shaded values are smaller than 3 or -3, and we are shading possible values for X. Dane, number 12.
X is greater than -5.
Okay, X is greater than -5. Why is that our answer, Dane?
Because the possible solutions are above -5.
Yeah, because all of the shaded solutions, the possible solutions, are above -5. Let's scoot it up. Make sure we're recording because yesterday it stopped. 13. Carter, what'd you come up with?
X is greater than 0.
X is greater than 0. Good job. I lost my bubble, so I can't write that one. But X, it's opening to the X, is bigger than 0. There we go. Number 14. Reese, what'd you come up with?
X is less than or equal to 7.
Okay, good job. X is less than or equal to 7. Nolan, 15.
X is greater than or equal to 6.
X is greater than or equal to 6. Good job. And 16. Jalen.
X is less than
-1. Okay, good job. The only thing we didn't talk about yesterday, and I forgot to mention this to the other classes, they could give us a graph like this and just say, is 7 a possible solution? So I'll do some questions like that. Just looking at problem number 14. Is 7 a possible solution? Yes. Why, Chase?
Because it could be less than or equal to.
Well, let's say this isn't here. Let's pretend that's not there. We just have the graph.
Oh, it's filled in.
Yeah, because 7 is shaded. Is 8 a possible solution, Sophia? For the one that's circled.
No,
Why not?
because it doesn't have a circle and it's not.
Yeah, it's not in the shaded region. So occasionally they could give us a picture and just ask questions like that. Or they might say list 5 possible values for x. You could list any of the shaded values in place of x. Questions on those ones? Okay. On the back side, you just had 2 questions. Flip it to the back side, please. On number 13, Addie, where is my dot?
At 9.
At 9, is it open or closed? Is it shaded in or just a circle?
It's shaded in.
Okay, so I have a at, you said positive 9, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and you said it's shaded in?
Yeah.
Okay, and then which way did you shade? To the left or to the right of that number?
Left.
To the left? So I can't see, I don't have the paper in front of me, but this one says x is less than or equal to 9. Is that what it's supposed to say?
No.
What's wrong with it?
Shouldn't be shaded, yeah.
Okay, so it's an open circle. Someone tell me why? Jack?
Because it's not equal.
Okay, because this says 9 is a possible solution. The only difference is that shouldn't be there. So means this is just an open dot. So open dot at 9. So you were supposed to shade x is less than 9. Is that correct? Okay. Next one. Cooper, can you help me?
Yeah.
Okay. Help me. Where does my dot go?
At the 4.
At the 4.
Negative 4.
-4. Okay. So I'm gonna put open or closed?
Close.
Closed. Okay. And which way are we shading?
To the right.
To the right. Okay, so that one says x is greater than or equal to -4. Is that what it's supposed to say? Okay. Questions about those? No. Are we experts on this? No. Okay, but do you know a whole lot more than you knew yesterday at this time? Okay, and that was the goal. Because again, there's lots of other things that go along with this, but this is something I could kind of throw at you real quick and hopefully some of it sticks. Okay, next thing I need you to locate is the weekly worksheet that I gave you a blank one of. I gave you back your completed copy on Tuesday. Wasn't that our first day here? Yeah. And I gave you yours back that was filled in, and I gave you a blank one. The top of it says 6th grade weekly worksheet due Friday 3/3. Get that out. Oh, was that Nate's? Or was it yours? It was yours. We're going to work some of the surface area problems together today, just to refresh your memories, because after I saw the grades on this, I made a mental note, hey, we probably need to review that. Bryce? So get a piece of loose leaf. If you can't find it, get a piece of loose leaf. Okay? So before we start working the problems, who can tell me what is surface area? What is surface area? Harper? The area of all of the shape's faces. So all of the sides added together. You find the area of all the sides and add it together. So in this box up here, first, what shape is this?
Triangle.
It's not a triangle. A triangle is a 2D shape or a triangular prism. Remember, prisms have rectangular faces, and then do they all have the same shape for the base?
Yes.
A triangular prism has triangle bases. Nate, what does a rectangular prism have as bases? Rectangular bases. Nolan, what does a pentagonal prism have as its base? A pentagon. What about faces for a pentagonal prism? Rectangles. They're all rectangles. If the word prism is in it, it has rectangles somewhere in the shape. What about pyramids? We're not doing any examples of pyramids today, but we could. Sadie?
It's like the triangle all around. And
Yeah, so the base is the only thing that's not a triangle on a pyramid, okay? So a real world example for surface area is like what you cover with wrapping paper. If you were to wrap this box for a birthday gift or a Christmas gift or whatever gift, a Tuesday gift, what the space that you would cover with wrapping paper would be like the surface area. The only reason I don't like that as example is because I don't think anybody in the world can wrap with no overlap. Raise your hand if you're able to wrap a gift and have no paper overlapping and it just perfectly fits together. Okay, let's pretend that we could do that. That would be the surface area. However much paper you would need to cover it would be your surface area. So to find surface area, do we have a specific formula that always works? Max, what do you think? For surface area, like volume, it's V equals capital B times H. Do we have a formula for surface area?
No.
Why?
I don't know.
He just had a 50-50 guess and happened to guess correctly. Stella, can you tell him why? Why do we not have one formula for surface area?
Because they have different number of sides. I don't know.
You're on the right track. Ethan?
Different shape.
They're different shapes. It could be a pentagon. It could be a rectangle, a triangle. Any flat figure could be the face of a prism. So you just have to use the area formula for whatever shapes make up the 3D shape that you're working with. So we're going to go to the back. We're going to do 5, 6, and 7 together. 5, 6, and 7. We're going to start with the easiest one, a cube. Why is a cube the easiest type of problem for surface area? Bryce?
You're going to multiply 2 times 6, whatever you like. No.
So, surface area, you find the area of each side and add them all together. So we'll just work it, and then we'll get there. Pick one side to start with, because on a cube they could all be the bases. It doesn't matter. I'm going to pick that one right there. How do we find the area of a square, Chase? Okay, length times width works. For a square, what is the length and the width of this square, Cooper? What is the length and the width of this square? 2. So we have 2 times 2, which is 4. So that is the area of one side. Okay, that's here just that one side, but it is a cube. So what do we know about all of the faces, Dane?
They're all the same.
They're all the same, and how many faces are there?
6.
6. So what do I do?
4 times 6.
4 times 6, which is
24.
24. What is my label for area or surface area? Harper? Yards squared. Okay, and that's it for that one. Those are the easier ones. Cubes are the ones you will like. Okay, number 6. Who can tell me what shape that is? Sadie, what shape is number 6? A rectangular prism. And guys, some of you already have this filled. Did you redo this? This, I gave you a blank one. Was this the blank one? You redid the rest of it? You didn't have to. Okay. Okay, it's a rectangular prism. Someone tell me something we should know about rectangular prisms. Jack, tell me one thing. All of the sides are rectangles. Yep, I agree. Harper?
There's 2 of the same rectangles.
Yeah, there's 3 sets. The top and the bottom are the same. The front and the back are the same. The left and the
Right.
are the same. Okay? So when we set this one up, there are 6 faces, so we number 1 to 6, just so we don't forget anything. But then I do draw lines to kind of show I have 3 sets. That makes my life a little bit easier. I don't have to find 6 formula or answers to 6 problems, just 3. Pick any side to start with. I'm going to choose this one. Why do you think I'm going to choose that one to start?
Because there's numbers.
Because it gives me both the length and the width. I don't have to think about it. So A equals LW. What's my substitution going to look like, Nate? 6 times 7. So I'm going to write 6 times 7, which is 42. If that front side is 42, then the back side is 42. Carter, are you getting all this? The answer is no, but it should be yes. Max, pick another side. The bottom. So I'm going to do top because we can actually see the top. Okay? So top and bottom is where our focus is now. How can I find the length or the width? Bryce?
Look at the bottom.
Okay, yeah, we could look at the bottom because if this is 5 right here, what's this one right here?
5.
It's also 5. And if this one's 6, then that one's 6. So we have 5 times 6, which is 30. If the bottom is 30, then the top is 30, or vice versa, whichever way you are looking at it. What's our only side left, or set of sides left, Naomi?
Very front side. Like,
That side, right? Okay, so we need the length and the width of that. One of them is more obvious. Which one's the obvious side length? Sophie? 5. Cooper, where can I look for the other one?
The 7.
Yeah, I have to look all the way over here at the 7 because I'm looking for that distance, so it's the same as that one. If the left side is 35, then the right side is also 35. Then we just have to add 10, 14, 9, 214, yep. Label, Bryce? Meters squared. So 214 meters squared. Okay, is it all coming back to you now?
So far, I got everything
volume on
right.
that
Good.
worksheet actually did 6.
Yeah, so volume's easier. Volume's easier. Surface area is always more work. I always think about it's harder to wrap a present than it is to put the gift inside the box or to put the gift inside the bag. Okay, because volume is filling up a box, surface area is covering the outside. Okay, next one. Triangular prisms are a little bit trickier. Why? Sophia, why do you think triangular prisms are a little bit trickier? Yeah, because 2 sides are triangles, and that formula is a little bit more confusing. But we know that those triangles, the area of them is what? What do we know about the 2 triangle bases? Bryce? We know how to find the area, but what do we know about the 2 triangles? There are 2 of them. Stella?
They're both the same.
They're the same. So really I just have to find the area of one of them, and I know the other matches. What are the other 3 faces? Sadie?
3
Rectangles. Now, we don't group those because occasionally they're all different. Occasionally 2 are the same. Occasionally they're all the same, but there's no all the time. You can look at the triangle to help you decide. If the triangle is an equilateral triangle, throw out some old words. What is an equilateral triangle, Jack? Yeah, where all the sides are the same. That would make all of the rectangles also the same. If it's an isosceles triangle, then 2 of the rectangles will be the same. What's an isosceles triangle? What?
2 rectangles.
Yeah, 2 rectangles would be the same. What's it called if no sides are the same? Scalene, yes. Scalene. Okay, but again, you don't have to memorize that. You can just look at the picture. So let's start with the triangle. Ethan, what is my formula to find area of a triangle? Good job. Base times height divided by 2. Nate, how do I find the base and the height of a triangle?
You take the base and the height, and then
But how do I know which numbers are the base and the height? Because there's a whole lot of numbers up there.
you find the one that has the thing that looks like you're supposed to cut it.
Okay, the line up the center. So we're looking for the 2 that form a what? Right angle. Haley, what 2 numbers am I picking out of here? 12 and 8. So I'm going to do 12 times 8 divided by 2. 96 divided by 2 is 48. And I'm going to write it twice. Why am I writing it twice? There's 2 triangles. 2 triangles. Both bases are now taken care of. Then we just have to pick a rectangle. It does not matter. I'm going to pick the one I can see. pick this one right here. Dane, what is the length and the width of that rectangle right there?
20 yards by 10 yards.
Yep, so I'm going to do 10 times 20, which is 200. From there, you can pick, I'm going to go to this back side here, the one that we can't see. Why, Jack? Why is it the same?
Because both of the sides of the triangle are 10.
Yeah, because if that one right there says it's 10 and that one right there also says it's 10, if that's 20, that's 20. So it's 10 times 20. Again, I'm just going to put another 200. Will that always be true that there's two that are the same?
No.
Nope, that's just because that triangle is an isosceles triangle. It has two sides that are the same, which will result in two of the rectangles being the same. Jack?
When you find a triangular prism, do you have to divide by 2, or can you just not divide by 2 and use that for both?
So technically that will always work, yes. But you're finding the area of each side and adding it together. But yeah, that will always work. Last side. Which side am I missing, Max? The bottom. Do you know what the length and the width of the bottom rectangle are?
20 and 12.
20 and 12. Good job. So we'll do 20 times 12, which is 240. Now that we found the area of all of the sides, we have to add them together. Anybody have it yet?
706 yards squared.
Do 736 yards squared. Okay. Something else to show you. Oops. Didn't mean to do that. Okay. This is the weekly worksheet I'm going to pass out in just a minute. Due next Friday, if it loads. Now, I'm going to read the top to you. It says you will only have regular homework on Monday. So, this is a longer weekly worksheet than normal. I suggest if you do not complete any of it over the weekend, meaning you get absolutely none done by Monday, you should complete about 10 each night. Let's do some math.
40,
How many problems do you think are on here?
50, 40, 40, 400.
Okay, so you're guessing 40 to 50. So,
45.
and just kind of notice what the problems are. It's a complete spiral review. So I tried to go through the list of most, not everything we've learned this year, but I tried to give you like one of a lot of the problems that you know how to do. 7, 8, we're going to, or not 8, 8, 9, and I think 10, we're going to, those are what we're doing a crash course on Monday. I know you know how to do those. I just want to show you and make sure you know how to do them. But I'm scrolling. I'm going to keep scrolling, keep scrolling, keep scrolling. So there are only 35, so you guys had a high estimate, so you should be happy that there's only 35. But again,
Well, we have homework on Monday.
you only have homework on Monday, okay?
Oh, that's helpful.
So you will not have any other homework Tuesday night, Wednesday night, or Thursday night, okay? Well, Friday it's due, so you don't have Friday to work on it. Now, notice there's this questions where it says after number 35, it says questions. Raise your hand if you remember every word that's came out of my mouth all year long. Okay, so as you're working, some of these skills are fairly old. If you get to number 10 and you're like, I don't remember how to do that, under questions, write down number 10, because each day, that's going to be my first question. Are there any questions on the weekly worksheet? Now, I will not work number 10, but I will work some problems very similar to number 10 to refresh your memory. Next week, you will not have homework because we're going to be doing like the IAR practice test, okay, which is just kind of a big spiral review, meaning we're reviewing everything that you should have learned this year. That's why I'm giving you this as homework, because it's just practice over stuff we already should know how to do. Jack?
Are there any of those whisker things?
Box and whisker on here? No.
Yes,
Not on here, because I gave you a crash course on that, so there's some things that I could give you a crash course on and feel confident to go ahead and give you problems. That's one it's more of just an exposure thing.
That's like the thing.
But coordinate planes aren't, yeah, we've done coordinate planes before. Okay, next thing I need you to do. So I just wanted to warn you, it is longer. I know that. I promise you will all survive through all 35 problems. Get out a piece of loose leaf, please. Shh. Get out a piece of loose leaf. What? I got it. On your loose leaf, go ahead and title it Surface Area IXL. Surface Area IXL. Okay, you're only going to complete 5 problems. They're not on a quiz. Okay, it's not a quiz. What you are going to do in just a minute, and I want you to write this at the top of your paper so you have it. Make a bullet point. I want you to do 3 problems in skill FF.21. Now, I did not clear your SMART scores, okay? Jack, let me finish talking, okay? And then if you have questions, I will answer them, okay? In skill FF21, some of you have already done some problems, so it might already show that you've answered 3 questions. You still just do 3 more. If your SMART score is at 12, you just start where you're at. If your SMART score is at 22, you're just picking up where you left off last time you were on that skill. Some of you may be at a SMART score of 0, okay? After you complete 3 problems, you will switch skills and just do 2 problems in skill FF.23. FF21 is cubes and rectangular prisms. 23 is triangular prisms, okay? If you miss one, I don't want you to just click got it and move on. I want you to actually figure out what you're doing wrong. I'm only giving you 5 problems. I'm not doing the quiz thing. I'm just letting you do 5 problems. What is the purpose of you completing 5 problems, Sadie? To practice this skill, because judging from that last weekly worksheet, it is a skill that we need to practice, okay? If you're looking at it and you cannot figure out why you missed it, raise your hand and I will come help you. So, how many problems will you have worked out on this piece of paper when you are finished? 5. You may use a calculator, but you must show work. So for cubes, there's not as much work, but you should still have some. For rectangular prisms, I should see a list of how many math problems. 6. What about for triangular prisms? 5. So you have the rest of the time to start on this. You hold on to it if you finish it, okay? And while you're working, I'm going to pass out the weekly worksheet so you can get going on that. Jack, you work 5 problems. If you miss it, can someone tell Bryce what to do if you get one wrong?